Hello everyone, Catweasel here, welcome to the channel and welcome back to our playthrough of Arkham Horror, the card game, where we are doing the campaign entitled the Dunwich Legacy. We are currently on our second scenario, which is extracurricular activity, and our intrepid investigators for this particular scenario are Agnes Baker and Jenny Barnes. Currently, they are at Miskatonic University, where they're looking for Professor Warren Rice, and they need to find 6 clues as to his whereabouts before they can begin to really track him down. So currently, they're going around the university asking questions and trying to get an idea of where to go next. Fortunately, we have no enemies on the board, but that could change in an instant. It is an Arkham Files game. So, having done the bulk of the setup last turn, we're into our first full round. That includes, yes, a laugh and chuckle phase. So, let's get right into round 13. Hopefully, it won't be unlucky for some. And let's do that mythos phase. And here we are at the laugh and the chuckle phase. So what we're going to have to do is draw some of these. But first of all, we'll just give them a quick shuffle on camera. I have shuffled them, but we'll just do it again. Very quickly, in my usual rubbish fashion. Right, there we go. Okay. So we're ready to go. Our first player is going to be Jenny. So let's pick a card for Jenny. Is it one card? Yes, it is. And we get Terror from Beyond. This is awful start. Terror from Beyond, Hex Terror, Peril. That peril means that you can't discuss it with other players, but I'm playing it on my own, so it doesn't matter. Revelation. Choose one of the following card types. Asset, event or skill. Each player must discard each card in his or her hand that is of the chosen card type. If this is not the first copy of Terror from Beyond drawn this phase, choose 2 card types instead. Oof. Right, so it's each player. Now, asset and 2 assets and a skill. Asset, 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 skill, event. What we're going to pick is event. Yep, so we're going to get rid of this. And Agnes doesn't have any events, so that's great. She doesn't have to get rid of anything. So there we go. That is probably why in a 2 or more player game you're not allowed to discuss it. But we've lost a card there, thanks to Terror from Beyond. So I just do not like that card at all. I suppose in a way we're a bit fortunate that we don't have full hand. Once you get a full hand of 8, then it's horrendous then. So we got rid of events, and the card for Agnes is a Yithian Observer. Oh, damn it! And it's going to turn up in the quad. But it's not a hunter, so I suppose we can leave it in the quad. That's not too bad. It's got 4 combat, and it has 4 health, and it's 3 to evade. It's a monster, it's Yithian. Prey, fewest card in hand. Well, it's going to Agnes anyway, so that doesn't matter. Forced, it would go to her anyway. Forced, when Yithian Observer attacks you, discard 1 card at random from your hand. If you cannot, Yithian Observer deals +1 damage and +1 horror for this attack. So that is going to go right there. I think, however, put it at a slight angle then you can see it better. Yes, I think we're going to have to try and evade that. It isn't a hunter, so that's good. And it's going to stay at the quad. We have to, if we're going to resign from this scenario, we have to resign at the quad. But if you recall, you can resign without getting an attack of opportunity. So it's a nasty monster, it's tough, but it's spawned in the best place really, so that's gone for us, I suppose. Okay, so that is the end of the laugh and chuckle phase. Next up, it is the investigation phase. Right, our first player is Jenny. You know what, I'm going to go for it. I was hoping to get a few more ammo for Jenny's twin 45s, but we're going to play it. That's an action. We're going to spend 5 of our resources to play it, and that is going to give us 5 ammo. So we'll pop that up here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we've got 5 ammo there. And that cleans us up of resources, but at least Jenny can defend herself. For her second action, what she's going to do is she is going to try and investigate. Now, we've got a shroud of 3 and she's got a intellect of 3, so that is 0 or better. Can we throw anything at this investigation? We're going to throw opportunist at it. We're not going to be able to actually get the card back, but because if you succeed by 3 or more you can get the card back, but I don't think we're going to be able to do that. What we will do though is we will use this wildcard icon. So we're going to commit it, and that means 4 against 3, so we need a -1 or better to pick up a clue. Come on, let's have a clue. A 0, that picks a clue up. In fact, we'd have got it without committing the card. We do lose opportunist because we didn't succeed by 3 or better, but we do pick up a clue. So we have our first clue, and it's about time we started picking clues up. We have got one more action. We are going to investigate again, but this time it's a 0 or better. Come on, let's have some luck. A -2. Unfortunately, we are not able to pick a second clue up. That is it for her actions, but at least she's got her twin 45s in play. Okay, next up it is Agnes, and she has a Yithian observer to deal with. And here we are with Agnes. What are we going to do? Well, we've got to try and evade this Yithian observer. We haven't got any weapons whatsoever. If we had weapons, I would probably go for it. But as it stands, we're up the creek a little bit. She has got a... yeah, she's only got a combat of 2. So that is not going to cut it against the Yithian observer. But we do have 3 agility, and we get +1 for Peter. So that is 4. That's 4 versus 3. Is there anything else that we can throw at it? Not really. So it's a 4 versus 3. So our first action is to try and evade. We need a -1 or better, and we get a -1. I'm sure a skull is a -1. Let's check. And yes, -1. If you fail, discard the top 3 cards. We didn't fail, so that is great news, because it means the Yithian observer is exhausted. So we'll put that up here on the Miskatonic quad, and that's great. We will go to the map, because what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to move, obviously, and we don't want that in the enemy phase unexhausting itself and attaching itself to us again. So what we'll do, we'll go up to the map and see where Agnes is going to go. And here we are with Agnes. So what is she going to do? She is going to move, and now a good place to go is the science building, but we will struggle. I mean, we'd have to come back via the Yithian, but we've pretty much got to do that anyway, haven't we? We'll go to the science building. So we'll pop into here. Let's have a look at the science building. So let's have a look at the front first. Location, Miskatonic. The science building dominates the eastern side of the campus. Its windows are dark, save for a lone window shining faintly in the corner of the basement. Dun dun dun, something going on. So flick it over, science building, it's got 2 shroud. And it has got 2 clues, because it's 1 per investigator. Location Miskatonic. Forced. After science building is revealed, put aside the alchemy labs into play. So we'll grab alchemy labs. Won't be a second. Oh, not that pile, it's this pile. So here's faculty offices, the one we've got to use because the hour is late. Dormitories, and there is alchemy labs. So I'll put that down there. And we'll put that into play shortly. As it is, we'll just put it up there for the time being. And forced. When you fail a willpower test in the science building, take a damage. Well, we've got pretty good will. A trail of viscous ooze snakes through the halls of the science building's first floor, leading down into the basement. So we'll pop this on here. And, oh, that was her second action, by the way, to move here. But we've got to put a couple of clues on there. So we have got 6 clues. We've picked one up, but there are 6 clues that we can put towards our act, if only we can manage to pick them up. So there we go. Those are on there. She has got a single action left. And I think what we'll do is we will investigate. We are going to use our flashlight. So we're going to use 1 resource. That will knock the shroud down to 0. We have 2 intellect. And we're going to spend another resource to play Arcane Studies as a free action. Spend 1 resource, you get +1 intellect for this skill test. Yep. So there's the resource we're spending. We're down to 3. So that will give us, so we've got 2, 3 intellect. 3 intellect versus a shroud of 0 because we have used the flashlight. We need a -3 or better. And we get a tentacle. Oh. I have the feeling we will be resigning. Anyway, right. We don't have to resign for a bit yet, but it's looking that way. Okay, so that is it for both of our investigators. Just before we finish, just checking where we are. Yes, if Jenny had any horror, then with it being the end of her turn, she would have had to discard cards, but she hasn't got any horror. I don't think there's anything at the science building. No, there isn't. So we'll get into the enemy phase. And I've put the alchemy labs in play now. They're up there on the top right. It's the enemy phase though. And we have our Yithian observer, and it is just going to ready itself. So it's been given the slip by Agnes. It doesn't move, it's just going to be prowling around the Miskatonic quad because it isn't a hunter. Okay, so that is it. I don't think it's a hunter anyway. No, I do not see the word hunter on it, so we're fine. It does have a victory point though, so we will try and kill it at some point. I must say that, yes, you are allowed to resign in this game. It's not like, well, it is like quitting, but sometimes you've just got to do it. And I'm getting the feeling this game I'm going to have to do it. What I'd like to do is get about 3 victory points. If I get 3 victory points, then I'm quite happy to resign, because I think we are going to struggle. We are going to struggle a great deal to actually complete this scenario, I think, just the way it's going. You never know, it might turn round a bit, but as it feels at the moment, I think we're going to struggle. However, that time hasn't come yet, so let's get on with the upkeep phase. And here we are at the upkeep phase. You know what I've just noticed? I had perception there, didn't I? For 2 of the I'd have played that if I'd have remembered. It's a good job I didn't, because we got a tentacle, didn't we? Oof, that was lucky. Yes, I was just so focused on using the arcane studies, I forgot about perception. I should put it up in the top row, actually. That's probably why I missed it. Yeah, so that was lucky. Otherwise, I would have committed that. And obviously, we'd have lost it because we got a tentacle. So, got away with that one. Okay, let's get back to upkeep. Have we got any exhausted cards? We haven't. So, let's replace our actions. 3 for Jenny. And 3 for Agnes. So there we go. And let's pull some cards. Jenny gets Beat Cop. We may have to get Beat Cop out. So we've got Guard Dog. But what we could do is we could now discard that Guard Dog, you know, for a combat icon. I think Beat Cop will be better for us. Let's just get a bit of room for things like supplies and resources. We'll just move these down a bit. Okay, right. So, oh, and she gets 2 resources because she is Jenny Barnes. We haven't got enough resources yet to actually put Beat Cop into play, but I think we will have to do so. Next is Agnes. So Agnes gets to draw a card. And she's got Fire Axe. Great. We'd definitely put this into play next round. She needs a weapon. Ideally, we could do with Shriveling, but there's only 1 card, so that's a bit bad. I think I've put a card in a deck that allows you to search for a spell, but obviously we haven't got that either yet anyway. So, Fire Axe, costs 1, it's an asset. It gives us a combat icon. And use an action to fight. If you have no resources in your resource pool, this attack deals +1 damage. During an attack using Fire Axe, spend a resource. You get +2 combat for this skill test. Limit 3 times per attack. So, coolness. I wonder if... Probably won't use this round, or this episode. So, I wonder if we can spend more than 1 resource. Because it says limit 3 times per attack. Yes, I think you can. So we could use all our resources just to do a devastating attack, which may help against that Yithian Observer. But, oh, and there's another monster I'm thinking about as well. Anyway, Fire Axe, that's a good pull. And we get a resource. So there we are. We're back up to 4 resources. That is the end of the upkeep phase for round 13. We didn't do too well. We've managed to get 1 clue. I would have hoped to get at least 2. As I've mentioned briefly, I think we're going to struggle to get these clues. We'll see how far we get. If all else fails, we can actually get a victory point off the Yithian Observer, so we might have to try and kill that. Okay, that is it for round 13. I'll just go and upload all this just to check I haven't made any glaring errors. And I'll be back shortly. And here we are at round 14. I may make this the final round. I'm finding that with 3 rounds a turn, you know, it's pushing up towards an hour. Most of that's my fault because I can't stop yabbering on like I'm doing now. But we'll try it with 2 rounds and see how we go on. It'll also make it a bit easier for me to correct mistakes. So I'll try 2 rounds for this particular episode. Okay, so, yes, round 14, laugh and chuckle phase. Woohoo, we love it. So that means we've got to start pulling some cards. Are we going to keep Jenny as first player? I think we are. We'll keep Jenny as first player. So we'll pull a card. And we get a locked door. This is just a joke. Obstacle, revelation, attached to the location with the most clues without a locked door attached. Well, that's where she is right now. The attached location cannot be investigated. We've got a test for combat to break down the door, or agility 4 to pick the locks. If you succeed, discard locked door. Oh, I think we're going to be resigning. That is really bad. Oh, how are we going to get 6 clues? It's bad enough trying to get the clues anyway. Poor old Jenny, she's only got 3. She's got 3 combat and she's got 3 agility. We'd need to get a +1. I suppose we could chuck guard dog at it. And hard knocks would give us +1 on each of those. We'll play hard knocks, I think that's what we've got to do. Oh, just, you see? Funnily enough, I had a question on the last episode, oh no, episode 4, saying like, oh, a bit easy this game. I actually just wrote, it says, oh, wait till the next scenario. I wish you hadn't said anything now, it's coming true. Okay, right, so that is it for her mythos phase. We've still got to draw a card. This is for Agnes. At least she's got a weapon now. Eager for death. Brilliant. Oh, I'll tell you what we've got to do, because we'll have to do it anyway. We have got... Where's the... That's odd. We seem to have lost a doom. Did I remember to put a doom out last turn? I don't think I did. So we are at 1 doom. We've gone up to 2. I must have forgot to put a doom out. Sorry about that. Got 2. And Revelation, test willpower. Whew, at least it's only a 2 test. And increase this test difficulty by 1 for each damage on you. We don't have any. If you fail, take 2 horror. So this is excellent for... Well, it's not excellent, but for Agnes, at least it's not too bad, because she's got 5 willpower. Has she got any bonuses? I'm just checking. I'm not going to chuck anything. Oh, I'll tell you what we are going to do. Oh no, it's like, I don't want to get into one of those bloody... Oh, it is a test, because it's got test on here. So, this is one of the things, you see, it says... So, am I doing this right? Yes, because it says test, we are testing. So we're going to spend one of these, and we are going to get a +1. So we're going to have 6 versus... Yes, we can get +1 willpower off arcane studders. So we're going to have 6 willpower versus 2. So it's a -4 or better. So we should avoid losing 2 horror here. -3, excellent. God, we probably didn't need to spend that resource, but it doesn't matter. At least we've managed to avoid that. What's the flavour text? If they can catch the fleeing soul when it leaves the body, they instantly flutter away, chittering in demonic laughter. Whippoorwills. H.P. Lovecraft, the Dunwich Horror. So there we go. We got away with that one, but it did cost us a resource, just to be sure. Okay, right, so that is it for the mythos phase. I'll check. We should have 2. I think we should have 2 on there. I'll just check that. Yes, I'll just check for the... I think I'm right that we're on 2 doom. I'll just check that, and then I'll come back shortly with the investigation phase, where we are with Jenny Barnes. Won't be a moment. And here we are at the investigation phase. Yes, it should be 2 doom. So I've gone back and checked. Yeah. But we're okay now. We're on 2. We're up to where we should be. What are we going to do? Well, we're going to spend 2 resources, because we may as well get hard knocks in play. Now, we could go to the Orn Library and try and get some clues there. I do believe there's some clues there. But I don't think that's going to do us much good. Let's just try and pick up these clues, man. So in order to do that, we've got to do this locked door, which is an obstacle. Now, we've got to test to break down the door. That was the first action, to put hard knocks into play. So we have got 4 agility or 4 combat. We can use either to break down the door. We're going to use combat because we're going to play guard dog. We're going to commit it, sorry, not play it. And that's going to give us an extra combat icon. So we're going to play that. That gives us 5 combat, because we're spending a resource for hard knocks. Oh no, we can't spend a resource for hard knocks. Ooh! We use both of them to put it into play. Oh. But we can still commit the guard dog. That'll get us up to 4. So, so it's 4 against 4 on the locked door as a combat check. And I'm not going to throw beat cop at it. We're just going to give it a go. For our second action, can we get rid of the locked door? We need a 0 or better. And that's a -1. That is a -1, and we lose 3 cards, I think. Yeah, if you fail, discard the top 3 cards of your deck. Well, isn't that funky? And our top card is Overpower. We could have done with that, so that goes, as well as Guard Dog. Fine Clothes, we could have done with that. And Sneak Attack. So we lost 3 pretty good cards there. Resignation's coming. I think it's coming. Okay, so that was appalling. That was our second go. And do we have another go? Is it worth it? I don't think we're going to get past that locked door now. We gave it a chance, so we'll go up to the map and I think we'll move. And here we are at the map. So our final action is to move. So we're going to go to the On Library. So let's have a look at it. The On Library. Treachery. Location, I mean. Miskatonic. 3 floors of weathered grey granite. The library looks more like a reliquary than a place of learning. Stone gargoyles snarl down from above arched windows, and Latin script winds its way around the double doors at the top of a wide set of stone steps. Ooh. Flip it over. Location, 3 shroud again, you see, and we've got 2 clues here because we've got 2 investigators. You must spend 1 additional action to investigate the On Library, so it's going to be 2 actions as well. The On Library is a labyrinth of dusty bookshelves and poorly lit halls. It does have a victory point. So if we can get the 2 clues here somehow and kill that Yithian observer, that'd be 2 victory points. As I say, I'm going to try and get 3, but yeah, this is just appalling. We're really going to struggle, I think. Yeah. So yeah, that was Jenny's go. Next up is Agnes, and here we are with Agnes. Her first action is she's going to pay a resource and she's going to equip Fire Axe. So at least both our investigators are armed for the good it's doing them, but they are armed. So we've done that. Now we are going to investigate. Got to get some clues. So second action is to investigate. We've got a shroud of 2, so we're going to spend another resource, our flashlight, put it to 0. So that is 2 versus 0. Are we going to use perception? Yeah, we are. We've got to. So perception. So we need a -4 or better. We won't bother with arcane studies. I think -4 is, apart from tentacles, which would be an auto fail, I think -4 is the lowest in the bag. And we get a -1, so we succeed. We get a clue. Woohoo! So we've got a grand total of 2 clues out of the 6 that we need. So that was our second action. We're going to search again. This time we are going to spend a resource for arcane studies. So now we are 3 versus 2. We're going to make it 3 versus 0 because we're going to use our final supply on flashlight. I think that means we discard it. Oh no. No. Alright, don't say discard after you've used it. But if we bring anything else that's got a hand icon, we'll have to discard it. And that's fine because we've used it up now, it's run out of batteries. So that is 3 versus 0. So anything but a -4 or a tentacle, please. And we get a -1 because that is a skull. Right. Unfortunately, the science building didn't have a victory point, but we've picked up the 2 clues from there. I think we may have to send... Oh, we're just going to have to kill that Yithian observer. It's just getting in the way now. We'll have to do that. But that is for next episode now. We're only going to do this round. So there we go. That is it for Agnes Baker. Next up, it is the enemy phase. And here we are at the enemy phase. Fortunately, the Yithian observer is not a hunter, so it's not going to move. It's already readied, so that is it. Nothing else in the enemy phase. We can move straight to upkeep. And here we are at the upkeep phase. Anyway, we've took no horror or anything or health, have we? Just checking the location cards because sometimes something kicks in. But we're fine. No, that's cool. And nothing needs refreshing. That's fine. So straight into pulling cards. Jenny Barnes gets pickpocketing. Cost of 2. It's an asset. Gives you an agility icon. As a reaction, after you evade an enemy, exhaust pickpocketing and draw a card. Okay, I suppose. And she gets 2 resources. So she's back to 2. And what next? It's Agnes. She draws a card as well. And we get, the Heirloom of Hyperborea. Artifact from another life. Costs 3 to play. It's an asset. We've got a willpower, a combat and a wildcard icon. It's an item and relic. Agnes Baker deck only. Reaction: after you play a spell card, draw a card. The etchings on its surface change from day to day, shifting and moving whenever I'm not looking. And it's an amulet. But we've got no spells in play, so it's just something pretty to put round a neck at the moment. But at least it's in our hand. It may come in later. Of course, we've got to put our actions back. Nearly forgot. Pop these up here. And that is it for the upkeep phase, and that is it for round 14. And I think we'll call it a day there. Things are not going well. We are not getting enough clues. That locked door at the Humanities building is cutting off 3 clues. We just lose loads of time and loads of actions trying to get rid of that locked door. I did give it a go, but unfortunately we failed miserably. If we can get the 2 clues at the Orn Library, which are difficult to get because it's 2 actions to investigate, and kill the Yithian observer, then we might have a chance of getting out of this with 2 victory points. Otherwise, you know, we're going to have to start pulling some tokens and doing a lot better than we have been. I was hoping to get into the second act and seeing if we could get, you know, just a tiny bit more as regards victory points there, without giving like too much of the story away. If we got a bit more tooled up as well, especially Agnes, if Agnes got shrivelling, for example, we may be in with a shout of doing something else as well. But as it stands, we're just doing pathetic. And things must improve, I think, is the mantra. Okay, so thanks so much for watching. Thanks for all the subscriptions. Thanks for all the likes and the dislikes. Thanks so much for all the help and support. As ever, if you've noticed any errors, please let me know. I've only done 2 rounds, so hopefully it'll make it a bit easier for me to correct anything. And if you've been across to Board Game Links to have a look at the videos over there, thank you very much. Similarly, if you've had a look at the video on BGG in one of the video threads, or made a comment or dropped Geek Goal, anything like that, thank you so much. It is so much appreciated. And that is it for episode 6, is it? Are we on episode 6? Episode 5 or 6 of the Dunwich Legacy. And I hope you will join me for the next episode. Until then, this is me, Cat Weasel, signing off. Toodaloo.